welcome to my tube. My name's Marge. I'm a Hilka empath, and I just like to do these little talks on how I feel about things. Esoteric teacher of sorts, collector of data, spiritual Sherlock, if you will, or if you won't. It's just what I am. Today is a good day. Got to see an old pal I haven't seen in years and years. Probably 1996. I think it was the last time I saw him in the 3D. And see, he does Renaissance fairs. He puts on a couple. He's got some that are near and dear to his heart. Some that I would like to visit one day down in Northern California. One in particular is coming up. I think it's in September. Maybe I'll talk about that later. I'll get some information to share. So if anybody's in the Northern California looking for a good time to bring their family, I always heard of them. Knew somebody was a belly dancer a long time ago. So Renaissance fairs were always kind of on my radar, but that exchange didn't end too positive. So kind of left a bad taste in my mouth about Renaissance fair, but I went to one today to see my old pal. He's a blacksmith, and I took my camera out and got some snapbacks. I think I'll upload those after a while. And he has his, and he's so, when we were growing up, when we were kids, I'm talking 15, 17, 8. No, actually, that was, the Sawyers were a little bit older than that, so early 20s, We used to have parties, 10 people, hanging out, eating tea, or made from mushrooms and whatnot, or, just taking a trip in your mind. We used to do that in the early 90s, A group of us used to hang out, and he would set the stage, and there would be dry ice all around, and have special taste and flavor experiences, and then the crowd. It's just they're good old fashioned fry parties, and just hanging out with your friends, having a good time, talking about spirituality and what's beyond our soul sacks, and I've always been attracted to those type folks. And as I got older, they're fewer and far between, because people started, getting into relationships and having kids. So your priorities change. I can understand that. My priorities changed. I don't have kids. Priorities changed when things got clear that, I need help with mom. And so anyway, go out to this Renaissance fair today and got to see a neat juggler. There's so many things. They got me a thing so I can go. They loaned me a top so I can go back this evening. Brought home, and it was such an eventful day for me. And yesterday was busy too. I'm a little out of practice from being out and about, from being around people and stuff. But it was good to be around people and to see the friendly faces out of, people there just to. In all intents and purposes, those are kind of my people, And I got to talk to them about some of the ideas that I have, things that I could sell there. And, and we got to talk about, the future and how we see the communal living really prospering. That's really going to be something one day. And I'm always really try and focus on the positive. And sometimes, man, there's just, everywhere you look, there's just negative stuff. But, I guess the more I keep lining myself up, if this is the right thing for me to do, if I'm making this trip back to Reading, that's what my goal is, to get a place there and have more of a, it's where I grew up, so I know people, life is hard. People need community. People need their village, or their, people need other people. People can't survive in the world anymore without it. As much as I would like to think that I'm so independent, type person, and there's a lot of stuff that I can deal with and handle, and I'm resourceful and all that. But I ain't old, but I'm getting tired, And there's a lot of other people that that they might have a lot of strengths in areas that I don't, that they can help, add to my life, and the other areas I can help add to their life, So I just keep listening to the astrology, and just trying to do the next right thing, and just trying not to let my emotions get so big that, my frustrations and my anger and drowns out my gratitude and and my vision of how I want to see my life next. Because I had now had an idea of how I wanted it here in Oregon, and that didn't pan out. So I'll just keep looking until I find my match, my place of energetic equivalency. And and when I left Reading, I was just this little poor girl, high school education, didn't have a whole lot, drunk, likes to drink, stuff like that. Didn't have a whole lot of direction or anything, and going back a different person. And I feel good about that. I never ever in my life thought I would think about going to live there again, because in my mind that's going back. But every time you leave a place, you're the only, it's the next day it's different. I mean, the place is not the same that it was, as soon as they, somehow the geography changes, it's a different place, you know what I mean? I just wanted to jump on this evening and express my gratitude. Because oftentimes, when you're your own cheerleader, sometimes you're not doing a very good job of convincing people. And I wanted to end this note on this really kind of positive, interesting story. I stopped off at the cookie store to get a couple of J's to take to see Saul, and there's a woman in there, and we started having a conversation, and I was talking because going through the cashier and the register glitches, and I'm like, this happens all the time, and I sat back away from the register, and then it clears, and then just what sliders do. Other people that are like that, or they know them as watch killers. They always drain batteries quick. It's an energy field in us. I say it's my magnetic personality, but we glitchify tech. So this woman was telling me this story about how her son did the opposite thing. And the story is as follows, because he's 12 years old. He has Down syndrome, and he has his iPad. It's his placebo. It makes him feel good. It's his comfort, his iPad. And so, well, it's his extension to the world. So I can understand why, if that stopped working, he would feel cut off, because he has routines that puts him in a vibrational of ease, because he does, he's 12 years old, he has Down syndrome. Imagine he doesn't have a whole lot of control over like things that he wants to do in life, so he can control his tablet. Well, his tablet died, just like freaking died, right? Just no signs of life. So she said they're Buddhists, and I don't know a lot about Buddhist religion, but I find all the goodness in all of the religion. I think religion brings people to spirituality. But anyway, they're Buddhists, and they went to their place of worship, and he wanted to bring his tablet, and he brought his tablet, and he prayed on it, and they do what they do, and he prayed on it, and then he went home, and like the next morning they woke up, and it was like reset back to factory settings, and it was like a new iPad again. And I got chicken skin, because I was like, that same thing happened to my Mac. And I tell this story about 3 days ago. One of the videos I did is that I left, I shut it down, and it didn't shut down fast enough for me, so I killed it. And then when I came back after laundry a couple hours later, it wouldn't load. And I spent many hours trying, and then finally it was like 3:30 in the morning. I started to reinstall Sierra, the last OS, and I just released it. I just cleared my field, and it's just like, I use this to make videos. I use it to look for work and places to live in Reading. I need this. I don't need this expense. And I really cleared my field. I'm like, whatever, whatever's going to happen is going to happen. I released the outcome. Then I went to sleep. And then when I got up at 8, it was back. So, see, and I'm like, and I was talking to them, I'm like, how come scientists don't ever deal with this one? Or maybe they do. Maybe people like us are picked up in the middle of the night and studied for our freaking abilities to disrupt technology. Or, wouldn't that be cool one day if we as people freaking figured out to how to charge our own batteries with devices with the cooperation of our own EKG, electrocardio, our own pulse? Because I know I can drain them, but wouldn't that be cool if nature, there was a way to cooperate with nature to charge our own devices and things like that? I believe in an all things possible universe, so why the heck not? This time in astrology is telling us all these, and that's the thing is, like, people are like, well, what can you do to not have that disruption? Well, I spend a lot of time outside in nature with my feet in the dirt, and there's things that you can do, and like like standing on rubber soles or pads and things like that to reduce the static electricity in your system. So I guess what I need to decide to do is I'm going to go back out to the Renaissance Fair, or if I'm going to upload these pictures that I got today. I'm not real comfortable about leaving Mom. And it's a couple hours before it gets dark, so if I was going to go, now would be the time. But I guess I'll report tomorrow, and if I win or not, I just want to jump on and share couple of positive things. And there's a neat story about a man who was a carpenter in Iowa who just, worked his whole life, lunch pail dude, brought his own sack lunch guy, just a good old boy, retired for $3 million, or died with so he the article I read about, it was 33 people that he had put through college, people that he never met, but, for some reason, he wanted to help kids that freaking, born single moms and stuff like that. Those are all the folks that I think that need to be running for elections and stuff like that. People that have actually been without things, so they know what it's like. Because people that have never known what it's like to go without, they have no problem from taking from other people, and that's kind of creepy. But that's about all I got for this evening. Hope y'all have a rad evening. Peace. Beep, beep, beep.